This was a few years back now at my friend's wedding. I was one of her bridesmaids. The other bridesmaid was a young girl, about 4, who was a daughter of a family friend. Cast: M, the family friend. Ek 1, the daughter and other bridesmaid. Ek 2, the son, about 56. F, friend. BF, my boyfriend, now husband. The first time I met M was on F's Hindu. I had organized for us to go to a certain Chocolate attraction in the UK, followed up by a pole dancing class. M wanted to bring Ek 1 with her. I thought this was weird seeing as it was an adult Hindu, but M said F would be pleased to see Ek 1. I ran it past F's mum who knew the family, and it was agreed Ek 1 could come, but would have to leave before the pole dancing because, it's inappropriate. This meant having to rearrange the coach to pretty much take us back to our pickup point post chocolate, to drop Ek 1 off, and waste almost an hour in the process. It was annoying, but F's mum thought it was fine, so I went with what she thought seeing as M was their friend, not mine. Anyway, onwards to F's wedding day. The bridal party are all getting ready in F's hotel room. M had both Ek 1 and Ek 2 with her. They aren't too bratty at this point, just being kids fed up watching adults getting hair and makeup done. M kept sending them over to me to keep them occupied, while she chats to F again. Annoying but not a major problem. Anyway, the evening comes around, and it starts to go downhill. F didn't have a seating plan, so BF and I chose to sit at a table with my parents, whom F had also invited. I haven't really had much chance to interact with them because of bridesmaid duties, and I'm quite tired by this point, so it was nice to take the opportunity to relax and unwind. Oh, how wrong I was. This is an Ep story. QM and her husband deciding to come share the table with us. Both kids are bored while waiting for food. M and her husband are more interested in getting drunk, so again they keep sending the kids back to me. I'm tired and just want to rest for a bit before the dancing starts, but these kids keep dragging me up to play every time I try to take a break. BF gets up with me to try to help out. Eventually we get fed up of keep playing with these kids that neither of us really know, so we go stand in the smoking area. Neither me nor BF are smokers, but it was the only way to stop the kids following us. When we feel we've had enough relief, we head back in. In our absence, the kids had been at the sweet trolley like it was going out of fashion, and the sugar rush hit hard. They were transformed into some unholy combination of a banshee and a Duracell bunny. They no longer talked, they screeched. Back to them dragging me and BF out of our seats to play. Except now it was like playing with hyper lion cubs. They were wild. I kept looking back to the table with pleading eyes, but M was busy burying her face in her wine glass. My parents are also uncomfortable, but none of us want to make a scene at F's wedding. BF and I didn't get many chances to dance together, so we are trying to enjoy ourselves on the dance floor. These little horrors keep dragging us apart. They were now uncontrollable. Ek 2 is trying to lift up my dress, while Ek 1 was trying to pull it down at the front. This dress was quite revealing, and, due to an error with the dressmaker, was a bit too big, so I had to use body tape to make sure I didn't flash people. With Ek 1 yanking on the front, it hurt. I later had blisters on my mammies, which I can assure you is not pleasant. BF tries to fend off the horde in an effort to save my dignity. They then round on him and try to pull his trousers down. Remember, M is literally feet away, well aware of what is going on, but does nothing except order more booze. I'm still desperately trying to keep the fuss down so it doesn't spoil F's day. BF and I head back to the table in the last desperate hope that M or her husband might finally control their animals. The final straw came when Ek 2 has worked himself into such a frenzy that he tries to pull my hair and hit me across the face. My dad is normally a quiet man, but he had well and truly had enough of this circus and simply put his hand across my face and boom, that's enough. I know it's a social faux pas to tell someone else's children off, but by this point we were all sick of it. The kids go wide-eyed and scuttle behind M. M shot us a filthy glare, summoned her husband and brood and promptly left. I also noticed M had written an F's guest book. Normally people put down congratulations to their new couple, wish them happiness, etc. Nope, M had to make it about them and had written a thank you to F for making Ek 1's big day special. Sure. I later found out from F that M had bitterly complained to her about us To which F said she was my bridesmaid, not your free babysitter. What did you expect? Okay, so this is still currently going on and is very traumatizing. This story will have the mention of a feeding tube and said feeding tube being removed improperly. M. Entitled mom. Eb. Entitled son that's not really entitled, just needed a name for him. LS. Life-saving guy. Izzy. One of my friends. Peyton. My absolute best friend. Mary. My friend who has a diabetic pump. KS. Kind stranger. PO1. Police 1. PO2. Police 2. Z. Your truly. Backstory. I have recently been to see multiple doctors about some health issues. It turns out I have a disease, I can't remember the name, but I'll try to find it, that cause me to not digest normal amounts of food. While I can eat very small amounts of food, it sometimes hurts too. I have recently received a feeding tube that goes through my nose all the was past my stomach and into my intestines. Now I'm very self-conscious about my feeding tube, so I always try to wear a mask. It's really cute cause it has pandas on it 3. Now I have to wear a backpack that holds my food in it so that I don't have to carry around a 4th stand thing. IDK the medical names for any of this, sorry. I'm still trying to learn about it. Peyton and I are the only ones that are allowed to touch or fix my tube besides my father. This part is very important for later. Mary and I live about an hour away from Peyton and Izzy. This takes place in their city. Onto the story. Izzy, Mary, Peyton, and I were at a mall that is about a 10-minute drive away. We had planned to all meet up at Hot Topic. Yes, very much emo. 3. Since we took 2 different cars as me and Peyton had to go check into the doctor, we all meet up and agree that we would spend no more than $80 each in here as we wanted to go to more places. Now I should note that I do in fact have a face mask and backpack on. Peyton and I were looking at the jewelry trying to see which hairpins would look the best, Harry Potter or some cool dragon ones. We went with HP. Behind us we hear a whining from someone that sounded far too old to be whining. I look behind us and see a boy of about 7 to 8 on the floor throwing the stuffed animals they have set out. I just look at Peyton and we both just laugh and continue on our nerdy shopping. We end up spending a bit of time looking at the shirts. This is where the M and Eb come in, when I feel a sharp tug on my backpack. Quickly I turn around thinking that I hit someone with it on accident, since it was a small area. This is how the dialogue went to the best of my memory. Some is from Mary. Eb, hey, why are you wearing a mask? Are you dressing up early for Halloween? Z, no sorry kid, I'm not dressing up. I need this mask because I don't want to get sick. I tell people this cause it's much easier than trying to explain that I can't eat, and most people have seen a doctor's mask before. Eb, well, can I try it on? I promise that you won't get sick. I just got a shot yesterday. Z, no sorry kid. I don't let people wear my masks, but they sell some over at that store / points across the walkway / Eb looks kinda sad, but instantly smiles when I say that he could go find some. Okay, thank you. He runs back to his mom or eagerly points to the store I pointed out. Peyton and I go back to shopping when the rest of the group show up saying that we should hurry up as we wanted to see one more store before we ate. We check out and head to the store I pointed out, which just happens to be an anime Japanese store. Now you should know that my insurance covers the cost of any masks, tape, or backpack that I buy. I just have to use a special card to buy it. Peyton and I head straight there to look and pick out a few, since I only have 3. We find a few really cool ones such as an Iron Man Arc Reactor, a Thor 1, a Nightmare Before Christmas one with a hill, a Roogie Boogie, Nightmare Before Christmas, and a Black Lace one. As we were getting ready to go check out, I see a Supernatural one. It had an anti-possession symbol. I grab it as it is my favorite TV show. That's when Peyton and I hear a loud HMMPH. I was going to get that one. Don't you think you have enough? I don't know how you can afford them anyways, as you're just kids. I'm 16. Z, well, I kind of need them. And I can afford them. I wouldn't have so many if I couldn't. Ugh. Didn't your parents teach you to respect your elders? Yes, she really said this. No, we do not live in a religious community, but there are religious people that live there. Z. My parents raised me fine. My parents raised me to respect everyone but to also only respect and firm being respected. She is about to respond when Mary yelled that we need to hurry up and check out cause she messed up her pump. We checked out and Mary and Izzy head to the bathroom to help her fix it while me and Peyton head to the food courtyard. We grab a table and sit and wait for them to come back. We start talking about how some people can just be way too entitled and over the top when they come and sit down. We all agree that we should eat at the Chinese place cause they have the absolute best lo mein. Peyton and Izzy go to get everyone's food while me and Mary talk. Mary, so what kind of masks did you get? Did you get any cool ones? Z. I got a few, but I almost got in a fight for one of them lol. I pulled them out to show her and she suggested that I should wear the SPN on as it would match my SPN shirt that I'm currently wearing. I agree and I pull it out of its wrapper and put the rest of them in my backpack so they are there when I need them. As I'm taking my mask off, the tape falls off my cheek, so it takes me a minute to put some more on and get the new mask on. Z. Lol, it smells like candy for some reason. We both start giggling when we hear a obnoxiously loud gasp. Now I'm not talking like oh that surprised me, no, I'm talking someone just offended you entirely, family and their friends kind of gasp. We both turn to see who could have made such a loud noise when we see no other but M. What the hell was that? Are you using drugs in public? Is that a drug tube? OMG, were you trying to sell my darling boy your drugs? You shouldn't be out in public, you disgrace. Yes, she called her son her darling boy. And yes, she called my feeding tube a drug tube. Z. What? First off, no, I'm not doing drugs. Second, I don't have drugs to take nor give to anyone. And third, it's my feeding tube, so I don't die. After I got finished, she just looked more and more upset. She was literally turning red. M. Don't you dare lie to me. I know drugs when I see them. I'm taking them away, and I'm taking the mask you stole from me too. Now, I didn't completely register the second half of what she was saying as I was thinking that she obviously doesn't know what drugs look like. That's when I feel a sharp painful jerk on my feeding tube. If any of you have one, you should know that it can be excoriating when tugged or pulled on. You'll also know that you have to clamp the tube so the liquid doesn't just flow as you are pulling it out. She of course did not know this. Now at this point I'm screaming out in just pure pain and feel like I'm fighting to keep consciousness. Now at this point, this is when I lose old focus on my surroundings, so I had to get Mary to help me remember. I had apparently dropped to my knees as she is still pulling my tube out. At this point it's so far out that I'm basically breathing in the fluid. I finally pass out from either the lack of oxygen, the pain, or a combination of the both. Now, from what Mary told me, she tackled the M to the floor to get there to stop. At this point the entire food court is looking in on horror, but none of them do anything until Els rushes over to perform CPR on me. But this time Peyton and Izzy have heard me screaming and came running back over. Izzy helps hold down the M, who is screaming that she is going to sue us and get us thrown in jail. Peyton is on the phone sobbing with an ambulance. Els saved my life. It's so scary to think that if he didn't help I wouldn't be here. As I started to breath again, Peyton swears that she could hear everyone sigh in relief. A security guard and 2 police officers come and take me away from us because it looked like all 3 of them could kill her at any second. PO1 came over and asked them each what had happened, and they all say about the same thing. She came up to me and yelled at me for my feeding tube and yanked it out, causing me to pass out. The ambulance then arrives and I'm taken to the hospital along with Peyton, as she is technically one of the medical helpers. Izzy at this point has called my father and told him everything and driving as fast as he could to me. Now all I remember from here on out is from me, so it's a bit weird. I woke up in a hospital bed in extreme pain that I almost pass out again. I look over and see Peyton and my dad smiling at me and just crying their eyes out. Now if you know me, you know I hate serious situations and always try to brighten things up. Z. Hey, I'm not dead yet. You can get rid of me that easy. They both kind of laugh, that sad but relieved laugh. Well, the next few days after that I'm in and out of consciousness. It's a full 4 days before I can stay awake for extended periods of time because of the pain medium on. Turns out that when Em pulled my tube out, she didn't realize that it could be a $5,000 fine for messing with medical equipment without training. I found out that when she pulled it out, it caught a slight curl in my stomach and scraped on the way up, but surgery isn't needed. I just need to rest for a while. So it turns out that me told PO2 that she tried to take them away because I was disrespectful and stole from her. When my dad heard that, he decided that instead of just pressing charges, he would try and ruin her. I'm currently writing this still in the hospital. Our court date is sometime at the end of the month. I'll update after that happens. Thank you for watching. Slap that like button and comment your opinion on these stories below. I'm waiting. Write that comment. Seriously. Have you written it yet? If you don't comment, you make a bunny cry somewhere. You're not that kind of person, I know. Anyways, peace out and catch you tomorrow.